Greetings. Welcome. Back with more Final Fantasy XIV. No lady tonight. She is not feeling well, so we will be wishing Lady the very best.
Konnichiwa!
Khan is here.
Konnichiwa! Konnichiwa!
So, slightly new changes. Tonight, I have fixed some of the interactions that were having like sizing issues and stuff. So they should be working better with my model. And if you are on the, well, I guess the YouTube or Twitch side, because they're both doing it now. If you are going to lurk, I recommend that you go down and you click on the channel points thing and you click the lurk button. That will switch you into lurk mode. Otherwise, Twitch is going to count you as a bot because Twitch is stupid. That is my professional opinion. They stupid. Anyway, I'm looking at this and part of the screen is cut off. Oh no, we can't have that. You must size the screen properly. Why is the screen sized improperly? I don't know. We do this. And it should be fixed. Lovely. And then I can lock it. Probably sized improperly because at some point I unlocked it and then I slid it over. And then it was in the wrong spot forever. Since there's no lady to do MSQ tonight, and as you can see, there is no lady. They're just friends. There's McDowell and there's Eddie from Talking Time. If you're familiar with the Talking Time forums, this is Eddie and this is Tia McDowell, not the other McDowell. And then this is Rand, she's a friend, and then this is Matt, who's in a different data center. So, I have been doing things offline since last night. As you can see, I have seeds here. I need to plant some seeds in order to try and grow Pasana fruit. I need Pasana fruit seeds. I have bought all of the Pasana fruit on the data center. Because I wanted a full stack. I didn't get a full stack. I only got the 491. 904. 900. I can read. 941 is what I got to. And this is all the Pasana fruit on the data center. There is no more Pasana fruit. I own all of it. Because you use it with your Chocobo, right? Okay, so look. When you get your Choco Buddy, I need to go to a place where I can show off my Choco Buddy. I will show you a little bit of the magic of the Choco Buddy. So, when you pull out your Choco Buddy, whee, he pops out like this. Right, and when you get your Choco Buddy to max rank, which is rank 20 right here, you get all 3 of the skill trees unlocked. Well, he's got 3 different modes that he can be in: attacker stance, healer stance, and defender stance. And then free stance, where he just decides what he wants to do. And there's a different Chocobo whistle. I don't know if you can hear that in the background every time you switch stance. Right? And your Chocobo, if you feed him while he's in a stable, you have to go to the train option. And you have to train him 10 times in a row with the same food, and it becomes their favorite food. You really only want to pick 3 options for the food: either Silkus Buds, mimic gourds, or the persona fruit. There is another food that gives an EXP buff, but what I mean by that is when you click on the Silkus Bud, you feed him the food, and then you get this buff right here, companion attack up, right? And when you click on the persona fruit, you get enmity up. That means that monsters are gonna want to attack him more than they attack you. He can serve as a better tank. So you would put him in defender stance and give him the enmity up buff, and then he becomes a really efficient tank. You would put him in attacker stance and give him the attack up buff, and he becomes an efficient attacker. Or you put him in healer stance and you give him the mimic gourd, and they get healing potency up. But you see that mimic gourd is my Chocobo's favorite food, because I fed him I trained him with mimic gourds 10 times in a row. So whatever your favorite food is, your buff gets raised to level 2. So I've got healing potency up 2 because mimic gourds is my Chocobo's favorite food. It takes 10 hours to change this because you can only train your Chocobo once an hour. So pick which one you think you're gonna need the most. And unless I'm in a very specific situation where I need something, I usually leave my Chocobo on free stance and then turn on the healing 2 buff on my Chocobo. This way he will do attack and defense moves, so he'll taunt a little bit and he'll do attacks. And when he sees that I need to be healed, he'll throw a heal on me or Chocobo Regan, and it'll do extra healing because he's got the healing buff on there. I'm playing as a DPS, so a lot of people just switch the Chocobo into attacker stance, set the Silkus Buds as their favorite food. So you put him in attacker, he's got the attack up 2 bonus, and he just goes out and murders things alongside you. If you're playing a healer, you might get more like value out of the tanker stance or the healer stance. If you find the monsters are coming after you. I found that the Chocobo is not a super effective tank. So on my testing of these different ones, the Chocobo can pull hate, but he will only pull hate off of one enemy at a time. He won't taunt a whole pack. And he doesn't have like a taunt or like a tank stance or anything like that. He can pull the attention of one monster, and he can hold that monster as long as you're not actively attacking it. If you start wailing on it, you're gonna pull the hate right back onto you. So the way the Chocobo tanks for you is kind of like an off tank. If you get like multiple ads pulled on you, turn and start attacking one ad, and he'll turn and start tanking that one. Then you can turn and take care of the next one and not have to worry about the first one, because he'll just hold the aggro on that one and it'll be fine. He's not like, say, the Void Walker in World of Warcraft, where you can just send them across the way to attack a whole bunch of monsters, and he'll just stand over there while you wail him. He does not do that. I wish he does. I wish he did. And I wish that I could send the Chocobo out to get a monster and then bring him back to me like I can with the Void Walker in WoW. That would be really cool. Like, hey Chocobo, go get that one, and that one, and then bring them back over here so I don't have to walk over there. That would be cool, but he don't do that. So I find tank stance is effective, but it's not like super effective. It's if you are a squishy class and you get an extra ad on you the chocobo can peel one of them off. So this is why I collected the Pisana fruit, so that I can give the tank buff, even though the tank buff is only level 1. If I have to switch him into tank mode and I want to put the tank buff on him, I bought the fruit so I can have the option. The reason that I have these seeds up here that I was talking about, I need to grow some seeds, is the only other way to get this fruit is to grow it. And the only way you can get the seeds to grow it is if you cross-pollinate the seeds. Which I suppose I can show you this as well. So that's what these garden patches are for, right? And this is an 8-patch garden. So all here around the outside, in the 4 corners and at the 4 sides are patches. And so in order to cross-pollinate a seed, you need to have a plant with a different plant next to it on either side. And when this plant grows up and when that plant grows up, when you harvest them, they're not going to have the seeds for this plant or this plant. They will have the seeds for a new plant. And in order to grow the Pisana seeds, you need Karaka seeds and one of these 3 types of seeds. These are basic seeds that you can get from harvesting. I'm not entirely sure where you get the Karaka seeds from other than the auction house. You have to farm them up from somewhere. But you would want to put like the Karaka seeds in the corners, and then one of these types of seeds at the sides. And then once you've tended your garden and the plants come up, all the seeds that you get out of the garden are going to be Pisana fruit seeds. And then you would plant the Pisana fruit seeds in the garden and you would get Pisana fruit. That's how that works. But seeing as I have a small house, I can only have one garden patch. So I can only do one of these things at a time. So I in addition to doing the fate farming, which I'm going to be doing more of today, as you can see, I've got well into the Shaloni? I'm going to call it Shaloni until I forget and then have to figure it out again. I'll be glad when I get down here with easy to pronounce areas. So, Shaloni. As you can see, I've gotten a good ways into that. I've got what, 31 more things to do in that zone. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, seeds. I was, in addition to looking for the Demiatma, which you can see I've got 2 pieces of the new Demiatma that I have to get out of that zone. I have to get 6 of them. I was also hunting for seeds. And we're just going to drop these back in here. I need to come Challeone oil seeds? No. Linseed, Roland berry seeds, and another kind of seeds. They're basic seeds that you get in the ARR regions of gathering. linseed, millicorn seeds, and rollenberry seeds. And then what was the other kind of seeds? Cracker root seeds, these. There's not a whole lot of cracker root seeds. So you need cracker root seeds and one of those other 3 kinds of seeds. Yes. Okay, what was I doing? That's right. We're going to the springs to gather more Dimiatma. But we've got dual things that we're doing here now. I should turn this on to get a little bit of extra bull. Because now, not only do I need to find the Dimiatma, I need to just complete the fates in this area. Is it you? Oh, no, it's you. Okay. They were wrong. Hunt the outlaw. Okay, where's the outlaw? Oh. Oh, that guy's the outlaw. I hunt thee. Yeah. Aha, stunned. So I was reading the patch notes for the things they had done, and it looked like they, on the last like little patch, they gave Viper a buff. They did not buff Viper. On the major patch that came out not too long ago, Viper and Pictomancer get a pretty big nerf. And what they were doing were rolling back some of the changes that they had made, because they went a little bit too far in the nerf direction. Oh look, I finally have a helper. Bam. I think I'm gonna go down here and get this one that is right close by. Where's the body? I don't know, it disappears after a couple seconds. It does that, it's okay, it's fine. I'm sure nothing untoward will ever happen with that missing body. Suspicious cactus. I found it. Hey, Mr. Lance guy followed me over here. There's one. Cacti, come. Super Saiyan mode activate. Ah. Ooh, yeah. Now we just have to fly north. On to new horizons. Or the same horizon, just a new spot. You know what I mean. Welcome,
And
Khan.
there was another song bouncing around in my head. Except I like that song.
Suppose I could manually trigger songs in Khan's head. Like, this is a big desert. I could just ride a horse. It doesn't have a name.
By the way, I'm tone deaf. I could just start singing all these songs you put in my ear.
Being tone deaf is good for YouTube. I won't get copyright, so go ahead. Why are there 400 dinosaurs once I start this phase? There were 3 before. And then I push the button and it's the Great Migration. All of you cannot have tree stars. Where did Mr. Spear Guy go? He's not helping with the dinosaur problem. Hey.
Or he's already tagged one and ran off to the next.
Possible. Oh no, I pushed the wrong button and lost Super Saiyan mode. One of the cool things about fates is in order to get counted as completing the fate, you have to make a meaningful contribution to the fate. I think it's like 5%. Hey, and I got a piece of Demiatma. You have to make like a 5% difference on the bar, which is usually like 1 kill. I know where he's at. He's up there on the other side of the lake. This this bait right here has to be triggered. So somebody turned that on. I'm betting that's where he's at. This area does have really cool music. I have found it. The turtle face. And there's Mr. Spearman. Okay, well, we will activate this side of the board. I can't get that one ability to activate. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I was pressing the wrong button. Probably I was pressing the wrong button. Where did all the turtles go? Oh my gosh. Too many dinosaurs, not enough turtles. And just like that, we're done. And we can teleport over here because there's a boss down below. Ah, yes, this blue guy. I am familiar with this boss fight. Bonk. Flame drinker. So were you here earlier when I was talking about chocobos and food buffs?
Yes. I just hadn't joined the chat yet.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure you knew about the food buffs in case... Oh no, there's a maiden here. In case you didn't know about the chocobo food buffs.
I did not, but I do now.
I have some of the tanking food. if you need some. I guess you could say I have all of the tanking food.
I found on Reaper I don't really need the chocobo to do anything.
So set it to attack mode and then things die faster.
Well, I know I leave it on heal mode so I can just mow stuff down. I kill pretty fast with this tune. Or at least this job.
With this tune, I detect some World of Warcraft-isms.
World of Warcraft, Rift, Ultima Online.
Yeah, lots of places called. I think
RuneScape, old school RuneScape.
I do think that the use of the word tune to describe your characters is something that originated with World of Warcraft because of the art style. Oh, this is where I have to just pick up stuff. Okay. Did I see a shiny over here? I did. Now, look, I was not messing with you. You walked right up to me and started a fight, and now you're dead. Kinda wish you didn't do that now, didn't you? Where's the next shiny?
I'm
Oh,
sure its pixelated mind didn't even fathom it.
Yeah. Did you just throw a rock at me? We could do this the easy way or the hard way. Nope, now I'm Super Saiyan. Everyone's gonna die.
Surprised you haven't been copyrighted for saying that phrase.
Yeah, me too. But, you know, Toyama died recently, so maybe no one's looking. Too soon? I don't care. I can just as easily gather these blood of the lands by chopping everybody into small pieces. Pick up some of these outliers here. Really? We're just gonna spawn one right on top of me, huh? Really? Right when I turn it in, you're gonna spawn one of these guys here? Now I've got 1 minute to kill the maiden. I mean, that's no problem because I'm awesome, but the principle of the thing. I could go down here and fight a boss. Hey, I'm at 45 of my rage meter, whatever this is called. The red liquid. At 50, I get to go Super Saiyan. The outlaw. Hey. Don't start nothing, fish man. Ah. Globe. Hey, another piece of Demiatma. I believe that brings me to 4 for this area. Yes. Okay, what's next? Down there. I'm gonna go down there because the one up there... Can we have the map centered, please? Thank you. The one up there is a defend the boxes one. And I don't want to defend the boxes. I want to murder the local wildlife. Oh, is this the one where I have to pick up the sunbeard stuff? Oh, no. There's a Pello here. Oh, okay. I wonder where the spear guy went. Probably off at Bridge 4 doing something. gotta remember that the activation of the Super Saiyan mode is also an attack. Booyah. Mission complete. Boom. Wayward Dara. One thing I will praise this combat system for, if your enemy is about to die and you launch into an attack that has a cost associated with it, or like a limited number of uses, and the enemy dies during the after you press a button before the attack animation happens, or during the opening of the attack animation, it will refund it back to you and not activate the attack. It's just a nice little...
If you log out with a food buff and come back in, your food buff is gone.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not in the world. Why are they taking my food buff from me? Don't they have any idea how much a roast chicken costs?
Probably not. I think that guy was hit by a meteor. I didn't see what killed him. Okay. Super Saiyan mode activate. They will probably get to the point where they pause the food buffs if you're locked out. I have a feeling there's a logistics reason that the food buffs act like that. If I had to put a guess on it, I would say it probably has something to do with either dungeons, like a dungeon raid thing, and with doubling food buffs. Because other things that have countdowns and cooldowns on them do pause when they're not, like your Chocobo, for example, has a cooldown on it. But if your Chocobo is not in an area where he can be summoned, or in a state that he can be summoned, the Chocobo countdown timer is paused. Such as if you're riding the Chocobo or if you're in a capital city. So I would think that they would also pause the food timer unless there was something specific that it's fixing. And they haven't got another way around it yet.
Oh well. I just bought a bunch of hard-boiled eggs for the leveling now.
That's all anybody uses a food for anyway. That 3% leveling boost.
I use food buff when I'm playing with other players, not NPCs.
The min-maxers that are doing like the super high-end content typically use the highest level of food. But apart from that, the only other time I ever see food used is for leveling.
I just want account-wide banking, just like there is in Guild Wars 2. That'll never happen because they make so much money off it.
Yep. They don't even have a proper banking system in place in this game.
No, you have to get the minions to do it for you. Like in Guild Wars 2, if you max out all your bag slots, you get 320 slots per character. But then you also have your bank tabs which you can expand out to like a huge amount. And they're all account wide. And then you have special bag slots that you can get that you can put other things in that are account wide as well.
It's a similar system in World of Warcraft. You've got like five bags. You've got a backpack that everybody can use. And then you've got 4 more bag slots that you can put. I think the biggest they have right now is still 32 slot bags. So you can carry 4 of those. And then you have a bank tab. And then your bank has
Bag slots and all that, yeah.
Yeah, like 7 more.
I have played WoW before.
Yeah.
Like for six or 7 years I played it straight.
Until it started getting really dumb.
Well, we ended up getting a bunch of bad people in our guild.
Oh, yep, that'll kill the guild.
Yeah, and I took my tank out of the guild, but all my other characters still in the guild, because I took my tank to join another guild so I could learn the raids, so I could help my guild raid. And then one day they decided that because I took one of my characters out of the 8 I had in the guild out, that I was no longer allowed to be in the guild.
Yep, that's stupid.
That's what I thought too, because I told them point blank, this is going to be like 1 or 2 months. I'm just going to learn the raids in this expansion, and then we're going to start blasting them out. But hey, World of Warcraft was always crappy for the community.
It is.
I don't think I've had a bad encounter in this game. Rift started off with a really good community, then of course they went free to play, and then all the garbage from WoW came over.
Oh wow, the actual Forlorn is here. Okay, Chocobo, take that from me.
Come on, meat shields, get in there and start pulling stuff.
Okay then, switch to healer stance if you're not gonna tank. There we go. Okay, now I can kill this guy. And he's dead. And now I've got a super buff for the rest of the fates. For at least a little while. Oh, okay. I'm getting to the point where I don't have to sync for the fates anymore. Nice having your whole kit available. I should switch my Choco Buddy back to freestand so he can help. McDole is prepping the submarine. Hey, another piece of Demiatma. Nice. So that brings me to 5. Am I actually going to have more Demiatma than I need? Did I just curse myself into never getting another piece?
But you got quite a few yesterday, and that's ended up being what happened.
Now that I just need to get that one more piece. How many more of these do I need? I've got 22 of 40. Okay, so I've got 18 fates. There's a bot in my channel. How dare he? Have you had a chance to ban anybody yet? Do you want to ban the bot?
No, you go right ahead. I'm in the middle of a raid.
Oh, yes, that would interfere with banning ability. Banned. Wow, okay. I overbanned him. Overkill. I banned him 4 times. Oh, that's the wrong button. That's the dismount chocobo button. Oh, I have to kill the outlaw again. And the outlaw, yes.
The outlaw fishy whale.
Nope. Zal Tekwa the Undertaken. Well, Mr. Undertaken, this is gonna be your last ride.
Ah, crap.
What?
I stepped in one of the clockwork traps.
Ha ha. Booyah. Okay. Go back up here to the north. Where's the body? Usually when the body of dead people disappears, this is a bad sign. And a note that you should probably leave. Oh, wait. Shining you out here. Okay, fine. We're gonna murder the whole area. And it's all your fault. You're next. Can I just collect things now? Don't think that's enough, but we can check. Exactly half of what I need. Okay, well, let's go. Let's gather. Okay. Kill the entire group at once. Okay. I probably have more than enough now. Where's the dude at? Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Okay. Now we're gonna go over here. The turtles are back. You have entered a sanctuary. You have left the sanctuary. Oh yeah. It says this is a defend the box thing going on over here. But I don't know that I've ever gone back to see what this one is. I can see the defend areas. Bam. So this is a chain, right? And I think there's going to be a third one that's going to pop up right here. A boss fight. I will go over here and handle this, and then that boss fight should show up. Okay, only 13 more. Oh, this is a protect the fish. Okay. Is it only this one? Oh, there are others. Get back here. Come on, form up. There we go. This guy should be the last one. Lovely. I guess there is no boss fight associated with that one. Just a vague warning that the Serpent Lord is displeased.
Oh no. Are you all afeared?
Yes. Trembling. Hello, herder. Oh, the dinosaur one. How lovely. Ooh, yeah, super thick. Hey, my last piece of Demiatma. Nice. How many more of these do I still have to do? 12. Am I actually going to end up with more Demiatma than I need? Point. So I guess technically this would be Super Saiyan Blue. Which is a really interesting name. Do you know anything about Dragon Ball?
No. Other than the fact that it sometimes would take 3 frickin' episodes to power up before you could do an attack.
This is not inaccurate. There,
No, it's not inaccurate. I've seen it happen, which turned me right off the show.
there is a joke with the announcer of Dragon Ball, because right at the start of the show, it's always last time on Dragon Ball Z. And then at the end, it's like next time on Dragon Ball Z. It did not take long for the fans to take Goku's signature attack, the Kamehameha, and tie it in with that to explain the show. Like last time on Dragon Ball Z, Ka. This time on Dragon Ball Z, May. Next time on Dragon Ball Z, Ha. I'm like, this is accurate. Well, what a lot of fans may not know about the reason that the whole Super Saiyan thing exists is early on, Toriyama decided that all the Saiyans have black hair. So he just made that decision. All Saiyans have black hair. And then his publisher was like, you know, black ink is not cheap. Maybe they shouldn't all have black hair. And so he divides, okay, so now they can power up and their hair turns blonde, literally to save on ink. That is why Super Saiyans exist.
Insane.
And because the Japanese are so good at naming things, when Dragon Ball Super came around, he created a new level of Super Saiyan called Super Saiyan God. So Super Saiyans were called SSJs in Japanese for Super Saiyan. And every time they got a new level, like Super Saiyan 2, they called them SSJ2. And then there was SSJ3, SSJ4. For each of the different levels of Super Saiyan. My Chocobo is gone. Where did he go? His time probably ran out. Just pause in the fight and feed my Chocobo. Like, hold on, boss, I'll be right back. So yeah, so naturally when Super Saiyan God came around, it was called SSG, Super Saiyan God. And then they took Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. So naturally they call this Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. That was the name of the form. SSG SS. It took the US audience like all of 5 minutes after Dragon Ball Super was brought over here to just start calling it Super Saiyan Blue because their hair was blue in this form.
Much easier to say.
Yes. It always makes me laugh whenever, because of that, whenever I hear Super Saiyan Blue, I immediately think of the Japanese audience that still call it Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. And then that makes me think of the publisher making him change the Saiyan's hair color because he was using too much ink.
I'm getting really frustrated here. I have an ability that tells me it gives me 2 stacks of something. And do you think I could find any information on what those 2 stacks of something are and what they do?
Depends on the ability. What is the ability?
I think I might have found it. It's called Gluttony. Gives me 2 stacks of Soul Reaver. And the Soul Reaver allows me to use the special attack abilities. Okay.
Yes, the tooltips are not always crystal clear at explaining things.
Well, it's got Soul Reaver written in yellow, but you can't, like, do anything to, like, move your mouse over top of it and look at it. What does this do?
That is some kind of mount that little guy's riding. I mean, I'm still gonna get to the next fate before him because I know how to teleport to the city. I sometimes wonder if these other players are wondering how I get around so quickly. Because we were just fighting at a fate on one side of the map, and then they immediately mount up and fly to the next fate, and by the time they get there, I've already got it half done.
Or they could just be like me and don't want to spend the gil. Although I don't know what I need gil for now anyway. I'm never, ever going to buy a house.
You need gil to do crafting stuff.
Or I could just go out and grind for it.
Forlorn Maiden somewhere. Where's Forlorn? Oh, there it is. Yes, I got another piece of Timiatma. This is one more than what I actually need.
Now you're just being greedy.
Well, I guess it's one step towards the next weapon after I get another class to 100. Because you'll need 3 of each type for each class you want to get the ultimate weapon for. Did I say clash? I meant to say class. My mind is in clash mode.
Yes, but they're not even classes, they're jobs.
Yeah, same thing. Oh. Booyah.
Those things are supposed to be passive and super friendly.
Yes, this one is out of hand, and I have to make it passive and super friendly with sharp things.
Yes, because I'm sure I'm going to become passive and happy if people were stabbing me. Yep.
Yes. I will beat you into happiness. Because that's how that works. See? Now it's happy.
The beatings will continue until happiness improves.
Yes. And I am out. I am out of fates.
They'll eventually spawn up again.
I need 7. Oh, there's one. You know, flying is faster than walking. I should probably do that. No, that other person has activated the feat before I can get there. I suppose I could have teleported, but it was about the same flight from the town to the fate from where I was standing to the fate. Man. The turtles are back.
Turn them into soup.
Yes. Ta-ta, turtle man. It was a funny movie. Nobody ever talks about that movie.
What movie?
Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, that'd be why.
Wasn't that bad of a movie.
I don't watch anything Christmas related.
Why?
Just don't like the holiday. I like hanging out with family. I don't like the commercialization of it.
Makes sense. That particular movie just happens to be all about the commercialization of it.
Yes, it does. Holy crap. It's the biggest queue I've ever seen.
Oh.
I switched to my one on Fairy.
This is a total.
39 players. Never seen a queue above 20.
I've seen queues in excess of 1,000. That was during the pandemic when everything was shut down. They had a unexpected huge boost to the player base, and they didn't have the server hardware to keep up with it.
Yeah, didn't Yoshi P go buy a whole bunch off this black market and secondhand?
He did,
Get it up.
but even that wasn't enough. They ended up making the game completely free to play for like 3 months until they could get all the server architecture they needed. Because you would literally have to spend like a couple of hours in queue, and that's if you didn't get disconnected and then sent to the back of the line, which happened a lot. And Yoshi P's like, this is not the ideal scenario. People are paying to play the game, and they're not able to play the game, so I'm not going to make them pay for it until they can get in and actually play the game. And he did it. The only reason this game is anywhere close to decent is because of Yoshi P. He's kept a lot of the big corporation-ness out of Final Fantasy XIV. It creeps in every once in a while, but the majority of the nasty things that are in a lot of other MMOs, he's the reason that they haven't completely taken over 14. Just gonna fly around in a circle until a new... Oh, look! And it spawns right next to me. Have you ever heard of an MMO called Tibia?
I believe so. There's so many out there.
Yes. Tibia has been around for a while. It's a 2D one. I played it briefly, and then I was turned off by a developer community event. The developers put on an event for creating an art asset that would be added to the game, but it turned out to just be an excuse for like one particular favorite community to be listed as artists in the game, and it wasn't really openly considered for everybody. I didn't find that out until after the fact, but I submitted a piece of art for the game that I created myself. It was a shield plaque that you would hang on the wall that had a little scroll on it. And I was disqualified from the event because they said that I copied other art assets that was in the game. Because my shield was a typical shield shape and the scroll was a typical scroll shape. And it's like, oh, you just copied this shield. I'm like, no, this is what shields look like. And it was just like the traditional like Zelda type shield with like the 3 points at the top and then going down to like a single point at the bottom. You know, a shield.
Yeah.
And
standard kite shield.
Yeah, and it's like, oh no, you copied like these other shields that were in the game. I'm like, this is what shields look like, dude. Just like a little plaque on the wall. And then I had a little scroll with a red ribbon tied around it that was hanging on 2 hooks that were coming off of the shield. And it's like, you copied this scroll from these scroll objects in the game. I'm like, scrolls just look like scrolls, dude. But no, I was disqualified. I wasn't the only one disqualified. 90% of the applicants were either disqualified or just not chosen because one particular team was, and I'm like, nah, that's just shady. Like, if you want to partner with one particular group of people, just say, hey, we're going to partner with this group of people and they're going to make art assets for us. Don't put on a competition and then eliminate all of the people that join the competition as an excuse to work with one particular group of people. That always rubbed me the wrong way about that game. I don't know what just reminded me of Tibia. Something did, I forgot. And once again, out of fates, and I only need 3 more. Aha. I do kind of like this area. It's a desert, but it's got a very like Mojave desert feel to it. Oh, stuck on a tree. I'm gonna let that guy fight all the monsters here. Well, I'll say that until he spawned 2 monsters on my face. I found with this particular one, you don't actually need to fight any of the monsters. You can just make rounds. And it takes about 3 rounds of picking up all the things.
Don't the kills give you the stuff too?
Yes. But it's faster to just pick up the things on this one than it is to kill the monsters. If you don't need the experience, and that's mainly the experience for your chocobo companion, then it's better to just go around and pick up, because you'll get it faster from the pickups than you will from the kills. Unless you manage to kill the entire group at once. Different dinosaurs. Booyah! Super Saiyan. Okay. One more, and there's false right up there. Okay. It disappeared. Dagnabbit.
Such harsh language.
I know, right? It was that other guy. Instead of coming over here to the fate that spawned right next to the one we were fighting together, he went to the one that I didn't go to clear it by himself. I never understand why people do that. Move as a pack, and everybody gets credit for all the stuff. You don't get extra credit for clearing a fate by yourself. I think I just need one more. Yeah. And then I've got this area complete. I need one more, and there are none in the zone.
Insert Nelson laugh here.
There we go. There's one. Is this the outlaw? I think this is the outlaw. I gotta go kill the outlaw. I've already killed him like 3 times. Wonder why a man called the Undertaking keeps coming back to life. Where's Paul Bear? We gotta find the urn. My wrestling jokes are lost on you.
Yes.
So the jokes I've been making are Undertaker jokes. I would say Undertaker is probably my favorite wrestler of all time. I absolutely love his gimmick. And he played it so expertly well. He had this part in his gimmick where he would lose the match and he would be just like laying in the ring, and then the other guy would be like celebrating that he like had beat the Undertaker. And then after like 5 minutes of just sitting, like laying down in the ring, he just sits up like he revived from the dead, and they always played it up as this big moment. The kind of goofy shit the kids just eat up.
Well, that's what the audience is based for that anyway.
Yep.
It's like when people started complaining about the Star Wars prequels and they're so childish. It's like they're 14-year-old serials. What the hell did you expect it to be?
Yeah.
I hated Jar Jar, but I liked the rest of the movies. It was the woke garbage they put out after Disney bought it that disgusted me.
Yeah. The thing is, I didn't hate Jar Jar that much, and have you heard of the rumors of what
Him
they
being
were?
the Sith Lord?
Yeah. I think if they had kept on that path and actually done that, like he would be remembered completely differently.
Yes.
But because he tested bad in the audience, they completely rewrote the character. And I know Lucas is on the record as saying that he never had plans to do that with Jar Jar, but I think that's bullshit. Because when you look at how Jar Jar is interacting with everybody, he is behaving the same way that Yoda did. when Yoda was pretending to be a nobody for Luke, and Jar Jar in episode 1 had Sith eyes. Like his eyes were red and yellow like the Sith are. Like they were absolutely going to be doing some stuff with that, with Jar Jar being a Sith Lord.
We probably should have. Would have been a much better character.
It would have. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick little break.
Speaking of weird Star Wars stuff, Gina Carano won her case against Disney.
Oh yeah, for
wrongful dismissal.
Yeah, in The Mandalorian, because she was the one of the bounty hunter people. I forget exactly what her job was.
She was the big girl that carried the big gun.
Yes. The Mandalorian was a pretty good show.
Yes, that was a great show, but that was done by people that actually gave a crap about Star Wars.
Yes. A lot of the other stuff.
I still get chills rewatching that episode where Luke Skywalker shows up. That was just awesomely done.
Yes, that whole sequence with when Luke shows up, that was amazing. Like I really enjoyed that because I enjoy watching people's reactions to that episode.
There are several ones I've watched, still watch occasionally. I got a playlist of them.
You can immediately tell who's a Star Wars fan and who isn't a Star Wars fan, and who's well versed in the series by watching the reactions. Every person who's like a hardcore Star Wars fan, when he walks out and he's still in black and white on the monitor, they're like, "Oh my God, is that Luke Skywalker?" And then everybody else is like guessing. Random people were like, "Is that like Ahsoka?" I'm like, "No, Ahsoka has 2 lightsabers. Like, follow the lore. He has a glove on his right hand." Like,
as soon as you saw the glove and then the green lightsaber, everyone's like, "Okay, that's Luke."
Not everyone. There were a lot of reactors that didn't get it. Even after you see his gloved hand holding the green lightsaber, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's Luke. And then people surprised that he's using dark force abilities when he was fighting some of those robots, like Crush.
Oh, the Force Crush and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah, Luke has a little bit of the dark side in him. He kind of founded
if you've
a
ever read
Jedi
any
Academy.
of the books, Luke Skywalker started training the Jedi in certain dark arts as well.
Yes, he founded a Jedi school while under the influence of the dark side. I'm like, Luke has a little bit of the dark side in him.
Oh yeah, and he overcame it. How can you fight the dark side if you don't know what the dark side's capable of doing?
Yes. I enjoyed The Mandalorian. I liked the Obi-Wan show.
Never watched it.
It's middling, except for 2 parts where Obi-Wan faces off against Darth Vader. He does it in the middle of the show, and then right at the end, there's an epic duel between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader that kind of bridges the gap between when they fought on Mustafar and when they fought on the Death Star in episodes 3 and 4. This duel in Obi-Wan bridges that gap because Obi-Wan was still seeing Anakin as like his brother, Anakin, at the end of episode 3, but he's completely disconnected from him when he fights him on the Death Star in episode 4, and Obi-Wan explains that disconnect because they have a fight, and Anakin initially wins the fight, and then Obi-Wan comes back and like cuts his mask in half. And for the first time since Anakin became Darth Vader, Vader addresses the Anakin Skywalker situation with Obi-Wan. He's like, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did. And Obi-Wan's just like, well, then I guess my friend's dead. And he just leaves him on this planet again. And from that point, he starts calling him Darth instead of Anakin. And it's a beautiful moment. It's a beautiful fight. And it connected like those two fights. It felt like three phases of the same fight between what happened on Mustafar, what this fight that happens on Tatooine, and the fight that happens on the Death Star. And it goes a little bit further to explain why Darth Vader never goes back to Tatooine. That was addressed a little bit in the lore. But Vader stays away from Tatooine.
Probably doesn't want the reminder of what he used to be.
I think that's part of it. But
And getting your ass handed to you by Obi-Wan.
Yeah, he knows that Obi-Wan is on Tatooine and he's not eager to go back there. So, I give props to the Obi-Wan show. And then I watched Ahsoka. Because I was hearing good things.
I've only seen clips of Ahsoka.
There are some good things in Ahsoka. Like, I like that they reached into the lore and they got Grand Admiral Thrawn and brought him back out and put him on screen. I'm like, Thrawn was a really awesome villain in the books.
Yes, but he was also from those books or something that Lucas to Lucas are not canon.
Yeah.
That's why they were never made into movies. Like the X-Wing books would have made it excellent movies. The whole Thrawn trilogy would have been great.
Yes. But it's interesting that Lucas took that
Jedi
stance
twins.
on them. When Lucas did pull characters out of those books for later, like, official Star Wars stuff. Because Mara Jade was introduced in Heir to the Empire. She was one of, I think it was written by Timothy Zahn, who created...
I have the trilogy sitting on my bookshelf.
I have, I think, 2 books of the trilogy. I lost some of my books in my move. I don't know where they went. But Mara Jade was from the same books that Thrawn was from. And Jade appeared in, like, legitimate Star Wars things that Lucas approved. The whole thing is weird. They're teasing bringing Mara Jade into the Disney Star Wars things, and I'm like, oh, please don't. You've proven you can't handle this IP properly. Like, half your team is striking out trying to make Star Wars content. Just because you hit the ball 3 times doesn't mean you're winning the game.
No, because they hit the ball. They struck out on multiple occasions.
Yes, I'm like, okay.
The Acolyte, what a piece of garbage that was.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, you hit a home run with Mandalorian. That's good. You struck out 4 times after that before you hit a ground ball with Obi-Wan, and then you struck out a couple more times, and you kind of bunted with Ahsoka. Like, you got on base with 3 of these. To continue the baseball analogy.
Yes. Rogue One was pretty good. The Han Solo movie was meh.
Yeah, Rogue One was good, but the 3 mainline movies they made were shit.
Yep.
Like, how? Why? First off, why didn't you get the same showrunner to do all 3 movies? Then they may have made a little bit of sense. Like, why didn't you listen to your fans when we were trying to figure out who Snoke was? Why did you murder Snoke in a random lightsaber duel that he wasn't even a part of?
And then reintroduce a cloned emperor.
Yeah. And you had the story beats there. Rey being a Palpatine, I mean, it's interesting, but when? Like they never really like answer her lineage. Like, oh, daughter of the Emperor. Like, when? Like when he was a senator? Like, she would be far older than what she was. Or you're saying that he had a daughter when he was the crinkly old man? Like, what?
Well, he only looked like a crinkly old man because of how much dark side power he used.
And he was a fairly old man. Palpatine was in his like 60s or 70s when Vader ultimately killed him. He was up there. Because he was already in his 50s when he was a senator.
True.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea, Rey's origins, but it doesn't, like, logistically.
She was probably a test tube baby growing in a Sparathi tube.
Quite possibly. That's the only way that it actually makes sense for her to be related to Palpatine, because I don't think he had a side chick when he was the Emperor.
Well, if you go back to the books where Mara Jade finds out she's not the only Emperor's hand, she was pretty upset there, so it could have been one of the hands.
It would have been really interesting if it turned out that Rey was related to Mara Jade, or maybe a clone of Jade. Or maybe both Jade and Rey were clones of the Emperor. Just like gender swap. All of that would have been interesting. If Snoke had actually turned out to be the Emperor's old master, Plagueis, that would have been interesting, because they said that he figured out how to use the Force to get around death. Snoke kind of fit that description. That would have been interesting. Completely rewriting Luke's character into a person who wasn't Luke Skywalker? Like, how do you get that wrong?
Very easily, apparently. You hire writers from Wish.com.
The writers that they brought on for this project were astonishing to me, who they picked, because it was the two guys who like fucked up the end of Game of Thrones and screwed up the end of Lost. Like, these are the guys that you want to finish Star Wars?
Failing upwards, yep.
Like, are you paying attention to the last things that they screwed up?
And What's-Her-Face has got a lot to blame on this one, too. She who shall not be named.
Yes. But, like, apart from anything else, I think the biggest problem is that they wrote multiple Mary Sues into the storyline.
Yes, that's a huge problem. Like, Luke Skywalker had that growth period. Yes, it was spread over a couple of movies, but still. He started off the little farm boy, got serious about training, turned out to be a stupid teenager, went to fight Vader. Then he got trained again.
But Luke still made mistakes even after he took up the rank of knight. He made mistakes in the Jabba the Hutt sequence and almost got himself killed. And he made mistakes when he went back to face the Emperor and almost got himself killed again. Rey never found herself in that situation.
She came out the box, fully trained, took on a Sith Lord.
Yeah,
Within 20 minutes of picking up a lightsaber. And won.
yeah, that's
Once I saw that, I was like, I don't even need to see the next 2 movies they're going to release because they're going to be shite.
yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna take a quick little break, and then we're gonna come back. So I'm gonna see you guys in 3 minutes. I have returned.
Ah,
Ah,
I'll go back.
thank you. Now, let's go hunting for fates. Big old zone, only 2 fates. Every time I see this zone, I'm reminded of Numi and the Nightmare Painter. I wonder if the person who created this zone had not read that book. Because these little lines here that are connecting everything and powering everything, straight out of Numi and the Nightmare Painter. Aha. Booyah. Fly up. There we go. Up there? Oh, it's that thing right there. Okay. Okay, it's just gonna spam the same move over and over and over again. Used it 3 times in a row on the exact same spot. Oh, he actually does have normal attacks. I think they may have forked this ability a little bit. Because every time I use the ability low kick, I'm left not able to attack the boss because I'm targeting myself instead of the boss. Which is strange, and it shouldn't switch my target to me. Damn. Why is he teleporting away when there's another fate right here? If he's fate hunting like me. Unless he's going to try and claim a whole nother fate for himself and not share. Which wouldn't surprise me. The amount of times that people do that. There we go. Have this guy. Grab this guy. Now these two guys should finish it up. Well, no. I think I might need one or two more. There we go. Super Saiyan. Okay. Ooh, a visa. Bam. To the next fate. The Thunder Yards. So I was talking to this hunter. He's like, oh no, there's too many of them. We need a plan. And then it popped up a prompt that said, do all the hard work? Question mark. Oh, I approve. Let's go do all the hard work. Bam. Is this a person? Yes, it's a person on one of the Kamuis. Okay. Warm up. My chocobo done killed one of them. This is a collection thing. But I don't see any collection spots. So you have to kill the monsters for this collection. That's 11. Oh, there is like non-enemy stuff. It just doesn't sparkle like everything else in the game sparkles. Did that spider just shoot me with a laser beam? Okay. That should be enough. So I was picking dillweed plants for that guy. And I just happened to look at the name of the quest. It's called License to Dill.
Oh, God. The pun. Make it stop.
I guess I'll just have to take it out on these guys. Don't worry, I'll make sure they're punished properly.
Oh, man.
Super Saiyan. Yes. have not received my Demi-Atma for this area yet. How am I supposed to know what color it is? The Avenger. Where is my chocobo? There we go. Now we can continue the fight. You know, I keep looking at this guy's name, the Avenger, and I keep thinking they missed an opportunity to put this guy in Shadowbringers, where he would have been on the first, and then he would have been the first Avenger. Bam. Back to the station.
Oh, I cannot carry any more bicolored gemstones. Well, then let's go buy some stuff. Oh. This guy invited me to his party. I'm like, hello, I have to go spend gemstones. Be right back. Okay. I bought that, yes. This. Okay. Lovely. It would seem I have a partner now. Random dude that was farming for things. Oh no. All of the fates have gone. I guess I can travel over to the station. Bum, ba, bum, bum. All the fates are gone. Where did the fates go? Spin for fate. No adventurer plate, Ha! Found one. Follow me.
Do you tell him you're streaming?
No. Looks like we're gonna fight these big jackal-looking guys after I talk to this imperiled hunter. AoEs for days. AoEs. All of the things have died. Can I mount soon? Thank you. This way. Over the wall. You get a lot of gemstones for the ones that are closer to the max level. Hey. You can knock it off. You are not part of this fate party. Go away. Oh, this is a collective fate. Okay. Me. Okay, we have satisfied the objective. Let me go save this guy. Okay. Follow the blue dot. Is he following the blue dot? I don't know if he's following the blue dot. He might be finished. Oh, he got his last piece of Atma. Come along, Sentry. Oh, I'm almost dead. This is what happens when you stop in the middle of a fight to send text messages. So yeah. Yay. Made a new friend. Okay, another fate over here. Is it these blue guys all floating around? Oh, yes, I've cleared this one out. Oh yeah, I don't have to sink anymore. Because I am high enough level, or they are high enough level. Now, if I'm going to use AoE abilities, I should probably gather them all up.
So I've been getting slow loading times on YouTube for the most of the day, where you get that little loading swirl.
Yes.
And I guess they think they keep. You want to know why you're getting this problem? Because I use an ad blocker, obviously. But it's still better looking at that swirly thing on my screen than watching any of the ads that ever appear on YouTube.
True.
Just means it's time to change ad blockers.
Some of the ad blockers are getting as bad as the ads themselves.
Some of them are. I'm using uBlock Origin right now. The thing is Brave Browser just updated. So I'm waiting for the ad blocker to update too. Usually comes 2 or 3 days after the browser does.
I had to stop using Brave and just go back to Chrome.
Why?
Brave wouldn't authenticate with anything. So every time I tried to, something needed to like authenticate with YouTube or with Twitch, or if I tried to log into my Adobe account, Brave would just not load it. It would just sit there and on the spinny dial forever.
Interesting. I've never had a problem with Brave.
I didn't have a problem until it started doing that. And then I was having to open up Chrome to authenticate everything anyway. I'm like, well, I might as well just go back to Chrome. Bam. Oh. This dude was a traveler from a different server. I wonder why people from different servers would travel to a different server to just play solo. Like, why not just do that on your home server? It's not like the fates are any different. These are server timed events, so they're going to be happening on your server the same time they're happening on this one. This is the do all the hard work guy again.
They need more variety in the fates.
They do.